It's that time again for another 5 minutes of free advice. And today's topic of free advice is all about success. I will give it to you in a Jimmy Buffett song. I won't sing it to you because neither of us would enjoy that. The song goes, if it all came down tomorrow, I could adjust to the fall. Good times and riches and son of a bitches, I've seen more than I can recall. And I know a lot about success because I've seen a lot of people come and go. So, what is success? There's only two things really I think that matter. One is the freedom to spend your time the way you want and the freedom to spend it with the people that you want. If it all came down tomorrow that you lost everything, could you adjust? Could you start over? What makes you a success? Well, in my case, I think if I never sold another game, if I never got another grant, I would figure it out. I started out in life with very, very little. I left home at a young age and I managed to get to the point where things are okay. So if I had to start all over again, I could. And because of that, I don't feel like I have to pretend that I like people I don't like. I don't pretend that I think things are wrong when when that they're okay. I don't have to make those concessions. And I think that's a big part of being success. If you can live life according to your own principles, I believe you're a successful person. And if you're not dependent on someone else, that you don't feel like I have to go along, I have to say that's right, even though I don't think so. Because what if they fired me? What if they didn't give me this contract? I've always had the attitude, you know what? I was looking for a job when I found this one. So, how do you get to be a success? Well, being born rich helps you get there to a certain point. If your family can afford to send you to the best schools, if they can give you money to start your business, if they can make connections for you, that's helpful. Now, if you had the bad judgment to be born not into a wealthy family, well, you might be still happy to hear that once you get there, I think being born poor is helpful because, again, you know you could do it on your own. You know you could do it without daddy's connections and mommy's money. So, being successful, it helps if you're born rich, but once you get there, to stay there and feel comfortable, I think it helps if you weren't born rich. Now, how do you get there? Not having the foresight to be born rich? Well, it's pretty simple actually. Do the hard stuff. I was shocked when I heard somebody say today they had not bid on the contract we'd bid on, and it was for a lot of money too. And I asked why not, and he said, because it was really hard. Doing all the stuff that they wanted was really hard. I thought, are you kidding me? Are you really serious? Did those words come out of your mouth? Because people aren't going to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just like, here, I had this extra money around and I thought I would give you some. Now, you may be saying to me, ah, but Dr. DeMars, I work really hard. Oh, do you? Do you really? What did you major in? Did you major in like communications? Because I hear a lot of people say that they picked the major that had the least amount of math in it or the least amount of quantitative stuff. I've taught graduate school for a very long time, and I have often had graduate students say to me, well, I picked a dissertation topic where I did qualitative research because it was easier. It had the least amount of statistics. And I think to myself, are you serious? Do you really think that there's a lot of employers out there saying, you know who I want to hire? I want to hire the person that didn't do anything very hard. Now, those some same people are saying, what are you talking about? I have a PhD. Yes, you do. And when you got your PhD, you made the decision to cut corners, to take the easier courses, to write a dissertation on something that was an easier topic. So, don't take the easy route ever because companies are looking for people to do the hard stuff. Quit believing there is an easier way. Oh my God, every time I'm on the internet and I read some idiotic thing where people are saying they're teaching 6-year-olds to code, I wish there was a way to reach through the internet and grab people and strangle them around their neck. I'm sure your 6-year-old is lovely. And there's nothing at all saying your 6-year-old can't grow up and learn to code. In fact, they probably can. But that child who's 6 is not learning coding. You know what I work on? Things like two-dimensional arrays and figuring out what the index is going to be for each of those elements and how to put that into a do loop. Your 6-year-old is not learning that because they don't have the concept of arrays. They can't even add, probably. Learning to walk isn't discovering gravity. All of my kids, they learned to walk, they fell down, and they didn't come up with any new theorems in physics. And so quit telling yourself and your children and teachers that some game where you leap over a chasm teaches you physics somehow. It doesn't, and it's idiotic to think so. So, hard work. The stuff that's difficult, that's what people want to pay you for. Quit cutting corners and actually do it. And be a little honest with yourself. Those people who told me, well, I'm going to do a qualitative dissertation because it requires less statistics and it's easy. They were honest to that point, but then when they got out and nobody wanted to hire them, they didn't see why. Hello. Now, hard work doesn't always pay off. There are people that work really hard and have bad breaks, but you know what? It's like an old time comedian said, the race isn't always to the swift or the battle to the strong, but that's the way to place your bets, honey. That is your 5 minutes of free advice from 7 Generation Games, games that make you smarter. www.7generationgames.com. Run on over there and get yourself a game, become smarter, or give it to a child that you really like, or donate it to a classroom or school. It will make me happy.